Let me just pull up the stream on my tablet so I can watch the chat. Okay, so not long after I got that Mario book, I found out Sonic has some books too. He has 6, in fact. I was only able to get my hands on 4 of them, but that's beside the point. Now, these books are a little more advanced than the Mario one, because it's got character sheets. Yeah, we have stats, and we have dice rolling.
You don't say it doesn't.
So let's dive into this. This is the second book in the Sonic Adventure game book series, Zone Rangers. And because this is basically an RPG, we will be referring to this series as Rings and Robots. Introduction. This is not a normal book. It's a game book. You don't read through it like a normal book, starting at the first page and ending with the last. Instead, Zone Rangers lets you decide how Sonic and Tails will solve puzzles, collect rings, defeat their enemies, release their friends, and put an end to the sinister schemes of Dr. Robotnik. If you make the right choices, they'll win. If you make the wrong choices, well, that's too horrible to think about. Before you start playing the game, read through the simple rules on the next few pages. The rules are almost exactly the same as the ones in the other Sonic game book, Metal City Mayhem, but read through them because there are a few differences. You will also need 1 ordinary die and a pen or pencil. I got mine. Playing the game. What?
I love your dice.
Yeah.
They're so cute.
Playing the game. In Zone Rangers, you help to guide Sonic and Tails through the action. Every so often, they will need advice and you must help them out. Their adventure will succeed or fail depending on your choices. The book is divided into 300 sections, each one with a number. The first one is 1, but the last one is 300, but you don't read them in order. Instead, each section ends with several different things that Sonic and Tails can do next, and a number for each option. Once you have decided what you want Sonic and Tails to do, turn to the section with that number and read it. Continue doing this until you have either finished the adventure or come to a game over along the way. Before you start, you have to decide how good Sonic and Tails are at doing certain things. Everybody knows that Sonic's very fast and very cool, but do you know exactly how cool or how fast? This is your chance to decide. What is he like? If you turn to pages 12 to 13 and 14 to 15, you will find the vital statistics sheets for Sonic and Tails. A list of what they can do, what are they carrying, how many lives they have left, how many rings they have collected, and a few other things. In the center of each page are Sonic's or Tails' abilities. There are 6 of these: speed, strength, agility, coolness, quits, and good looks. Besides them is the description of the ability and a box, which is empty at the moment. Fill in Sonic's vital statistics sheet first. Read the descriptions of his abilities. Choose the one that you think he should be best at and write a 5 in that box. Then put a 4 in the next best, a 3 in the third best, and 2 in all the rest. The different numbers show what Sonic's strengths and weaknesses are. Then do the same on Tails' sheet. Doing things. Some sections of the book will ask you to roll on one of Sonic or Tails' abilities to beat a particular difficulty number. This means that you should roll 1 die, add the number you've written by that ability, and compare the total to the difficulty number. If the total is equal to or higher than the difficulty, Sonic or Tails has succeeded. Yes! If the number is lower, they have failed. Oh no! Follow the instructions in that section to find out what happens next. Sometimes the section will give you other numbers to add to your roll, so read each one carefully. Fighting. Sonic and Tails can also use their abilities to fight enemies. Sometimes defeating them is so easy that you won't have to roll a die at all, but at other times you'll be asked to roll on a particular ability. Usually it's strength or speed, but it can be any of the others depending on the enemy and the type of attack. All of Sonic and Tails' enemies have a rating, a number usually between 4 and 10. To fight an enemy, roll 1 die and add it to whichever ability either Sonic or Tails is using in that fight. The section will tell you. If the number you roll is higher or equal to the enemy's rating, the enemy is beaten. Pow! If not, the enemy has a chance to strike back against Sonic or Tails. Roll a die and add it to the enemy's rating. If the total is more than 10, they have hit the relevant hero. Ouch. If the total is less than 10, the enemy has missed Sonic and Tails can attack again. Sometimes Sonic and Tails will fight the same enemy at the same time. When this happens, add their 2 abilities together, then add the total to your die roll. If it's higher than the enemy's rating, the enemy has been hit. Wham! If not, then the enemy strikes back by adding 1 die to its rating, trying to get higher than 15. If the roll is higher, roll a die to see who has been hit. If you roll a 1, 2, or 3, it's Tails. 4, 5, or 6, and it's Sonic. If the enemy misses, it's our hero's turn to attack again. When Sonic or Tails is hit by an enemy or a trap, 2 things can happen. If they are carrying any rings, they lose them all and must try to get past the enemy or trap again. If they are not carrying any rings because they haven't found any yet or because they haven't picked any up since the last time they were hit, they lose a life and must go back to earlier in the adventure to try again. This section will tell you where to turn. Lives. Sonic and Tails start the book with 3 lives each. If either of them loses all of his lives, you have failed and must start the adventure again from the beginning. There are 2 ways to get extra lives. The 2 characters can find them concealed along the way, or if either Sonic or Tails has more than 100 rings at one time, then they automatically get an extra life. Carrying stuff. Both the characters start the game carrying a few items. The book will tell you if and when they can use these. They may also pick up new items along the way, or lose some in the course of the adventure. Always write rings, lives, and new items down on Sonic or Tails' vital statistics, and cross off the ones they don't have anymore. That's everything you need to help Sonic and Tails through the perils that await them as they range through the zones of the planet Mobius and beyond. Okay, so for Sonic stats... Okay, hang on. Sonic. I'm not writing in the book, I'm writing in a binder for the character sheets, just in case we need to go through with different stats.
In case you ever want to play again later.
So, for Sonic, I'm thinking speed should be his highest, because he's the fastest thing alive. That makes sense, right?
Yep. I'm nodding like your people can see me.
Yeah, okay, so speed 5. Okay, so strength. Strength. Agility. Wits. And cool looks. Okay, so what should Sonic's second best ability be?
Speed's his first.
Yeah.
Gathering.
The other options are strength, agility, wits, cool, and looks.
Agility.
All right. And for third?
Strength.
And then we'll put 2 for wits, 2 for cool, and 2 for looks. Lives. 3. Rings. 0. Stuff. So starting out, Sonic has red trainers and white gloves.
Okay.
I don't think we're going to be losing those, but writing them anyway, just in case. And Tails. Now, what's funny about this book with the character sheets is that it says that Tails isn't the quickest thinking guy on Planet Mobius, which proves that this was definitely early in the series writing.
Here we go.
Speed.
Ugh.
Strength.
Oh, plants are coming along nicely anyway.
Cool. Agility. Wits. Cool. Looks. Okay, so Tails' number one trait should definitely be his wits.
Okay, we'll make that his third trait then.
Huh?
Then make that his third if you need to bump it up. Do you need to bump it up?
No.
Oh.
The one that gets the one that gets 5.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah, Tails' 5. Tails' biggest ability should be his wits. Okay, what should be 4 should also be agility because he can fly. Speed 3, 2 strength, 2 cool, 2 looks. Lives 3. Rings 0. Stuff. And Tails also has red trainers and white gloves. For those of you playing along at home, I hope you can see this. You might have to take a screenshot and mirror it, but here's what we're looking like. That's what we're looking like right now. Let's start reading. It's a cool spring morning in the Green Hill Zone, and Sonic and Tails are lying under a palm tree, sleeping as hard as they can. Sonic is dreaming of receiving the Mobius prize for being best at everything, while Tails is dreaming of hunting wild chocolate eclairs, armed only with a toothbrush. The two friends were up late the night before watching television. The film Zone Alone was being shown on TVPM, Television Planet Mobius, for the first time, and Sally Acorn had invited everyone to a party to watch it. Sonic and Tails had seen the film before and didn't like it, so they left the party before the film started and spent the rest of the evening eating microwave snacks and watching monster movies on video. They didn't get to sleep until they'd watched their favorite, Mobzilla fights the outer space monsters from Planet Z, twice. Still, they can doze as much as they want. Heroes like them don't have to get up to school or work. Have to get up to go to school or work. And they don't have anything special to do today. Everything's quiet, which usually means that Sonic's enemy Dr. Robotnik is plotting something. But Sonic and Tails beat him thoroughly last time, and they are pretty sure that he won't be back for a while. Tails grunts and turns over. He's dreaming that a herd of cream eclairs are hiding behind the cosmic washing machine. And he's wading through strawberry jam to get to them, carrying his trusty toothbrush like a quarterstaff. Sonic isn't dreaming. He's floating halfway between being asleep and waking up. He's warm and comfortable, but there's an annoying noise at the edge of his hearing. It's a sort of buzzing, roaring, grinding sound that won't go away. Imagine you're Sonic. What would you do? Do you think he should ignore the rumbling, roll over, and go back to sleep? Then turn to section 233. If you think you should get up and wake Tails as well, turn to section 78. If you think Sonic should go investigate the sound on his own, turn to page 114. Should we go back to sleep, wake up Tails, or just go on our own?
You might as well wake up Tails and have some backup.
Alright.
Backup's good.
Looking for section 78.
Bowser, you are one goofy puppy.
Sonic puts one gloved paw on Tails' shoulder and shakes his friend. Tails makes a snoring sound, then turns over. The rumbling sound is getting closer. Sonic grabs hold of Tails' twin tails and pulls. Tails gives a yelp and jumps into the air. Why'd you do that? He asks. I was just getting the good bit of my dream. Look, exclaims Sonic. Rushing across the green hill zone toward them is a monstrous yellow bulldozer. It's tearing down trees, pounding the ground flat, and belching out thick, bad-smelling smoke. As it moves, it leaves a shiny trail behind it like a slug. Sonic and Tails can get closer to the bulldozer. Turn to page to section 156 if you think that's a good idea, or they can get out of its way. Turn to section 170.
We gotta figure out what the hell's going on. You can't do that by running away.
Okay.
We're gonna die, but you know.
You don't know that. Granted, neither do I. I don't know why I'm saying it like that.
I was gonna say, excuse you? Are you sure? Dun, 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 dun.
The massive bulldozer's tracks tear up the ground as it speeds across the zone, leaving a shining path behind it. In front of its roaring engine is a driver's cab made of mirrored glass. Look, exclaims Tails, that shiny liquid is drying. It's making a road. Sonic is looking around and sniffing. Something's very wrong in the Green Hill Zone, and since he's a resident hero, he'll be the one who has to sort it all out. There will be danger and peril, robots to be beaten, chaos emeralds to be found, global threats to be overcome, and behind it all, most likely, the mad Dr. Robotnik. I love being a hero, he shouts. Should Sonic and Tails follow the road, explore the Green Hill Zone, or should they jump on the bulldozer?
Oh, let's have some fun. Jump on the bulldozer.
Oh, or should they jump on the bulldozer or attack it?
Jump on it. We don't want to attack the damn thing. It's a bulldozer. It don't know.
Fair.
Just jump on it. Have some fun.
Section 26. Jumping onto speeding bulldozers is very dangerous, so don't try this at home. Sonic and Tails, on the other hand, are professionals and are sitting on the machine's bonnet, watching as it destroys more of the Green Hill Zone. I can see why they call it an Earth Mover, says Tails. Boy, that's some machine. Let's get going, says Sonic. We've got to stop it moving any more Earth or moving at all. The two heroes can head for the driver's cabin at the top of the bulldozer or the engine. Driver's cabin or engine?
Cabin.
Section
Let's see what's
204.
running it. Ooh, excuse me.
Sonic and Tails climb up to the cabin in seconds.
Dude.
Sonic stares at the mirrored glass that covers the door. Are you making a plan? Tails asks. No, checking my spikes look smart, says Sonic. He pushes the door open to reveal a plump figure who stares at Sonic and Tails. It's their friend, Chirps the Chicken. There's also a large television set turned to a dead channel.
Chirps the chicken.
Yes. Who are you? What are you doing here? He asks. What do Sonic and Tails do now? Do they grab the bulldozer's controls, turn off the television set, or talk to Chirps? Mom? Do we grab the bulldozer's controls, turn off the television set, or talk to Chirps?
Oh, let's talk to the bird. That'd be
Can
fun.
you paint with all the colors of the bird?
Something like that.
Section 85.
Well,
Chirps, Sonic says. Don't you recognize us? No, Chirps says. What are you doing in my cab? But we're your friends, Tails says. I'm Tails and he's Sonic, remember? Sonic and Tails? Chirps exclaims. The enemies of President Robotnik? Before Sonic and Tails can react, he presses a red button and a high-pitched shriek fills the cab. The television screen clears, and Porker Harris, Sonic's Piggy Pal, appears. What's the problem, Bulldozer 3? He asks. Sonic and Tails, they're in my cab! Help! Shouts Chirps. An emergency squad is on its way. Porker disappears, and the screen fills with static. Should Sonic and Tails leave the bulldozer or search the cab?
run, Forrest, run.
So leave.
Yeah.
Okay. 170. Sonic and Tails don't get far into the zone before they find everything has changed. Hills have been leveled, roads have been built, and new buildings have sprung up like toadstools. What's going on? The air is full of the roar of chainsaws, the crash of falling trees, the thumping of pile drivers, and the moaning of Tails. My head hurts, he complains. In front of them stands a particularly ugly building. It's not finished, and workers are swarming over it like ants. Some are robots, but Sonic recognizes others. They're his friends. Flicky the Bluebird, Johnny Lightfoot, Joe Sushi, they're all here. Why would they build such a hideous building in the Green Hill Zone? What should Sonic and Tails do now? Ask one of their friends what's happening, climb the building for a better view, or follow the road.
Let's ask what's happening. See how dead that gets us.
Tier 93. I'm gonna laugh if we get the right path on our first go.
That'd be funny.
Because I've heard that these books are very unforgiving. As they watch, the rabbit Johnny Lightfoot climbs down the tower to pick up a new bag of rivets. Hey Johnny, my old buddy, Sonic says. What's happening? How are you doing? How are they treating you? What are the hours like here? Do you get many carrot breaks? Johnny looks at him coldly. I recognize you, he says slowly. You're Sonic the Warthog. That's Hedgehog, corrects the Hedgehog. Whatever. And that's Tails, also known as Two Tails, also known as Miles per Hour. Well, we're big stars, says Sonic, but stops as he feels something dig into his back. It's a submachine gun held by his friend Porker Harris. Sally Acorn stands behind Tails with another gun. Something's wrong. There shouldn't be any guns in the Green Hill Zone, and Porker and Sally are their friends. You are enemies of President Robotnik, says Johnny. Take them away, guards. Sally and Porker prod their two captives with their guns and lead them down the road. A strange metal building with huge satellite dish on its roof comes into view. Did he say President Robotnik? Hisses Sonic to Tails. Hisses Tails to Sonic. Yes, and I think we're going to meet the man himself, Sonic mutters back. Turn to section 124. The building is dark, cold, and gloomy. As the group walks into the entrance hall, Sonic notices a large television set at the end of the room. It's not switched on, but there are smaller televisions and computer monitors piled around its base. Some of them look as if they might be power-ups, like the ones that Sonic and Tails find in the zones. Does Sonic try to grab one of the monitors without his captors noticing, or does he keep walking?
That's a toughie.
Screw it. Let's try to grab one. Section 66.
Hi. What you doing?
Sonic looks around and gives Tails a hefty shove. Tails staggers and falls over. Sally Acorn and Porker Harris turn and point their guns at him until he gets up, giving Sonic enough time to run to the pile of monitors. Sonic knows he has only got one chance, as Sally and Porker will be alerted when the first monitor is smashed. It's too dark to see what the screens are showing, so he'll have to trust the luck. Roll a die to see what Sonic gets. Roll a 1, extra life. 2 or 3, shield. The next time Sonic is hit by an enemy, it has no effect. He doesn't lose any rings of life. 4 to 6, 10 gold rings.
And a partridge and a parakeet.
Okay, first die roll of the book. 6. I got 10 gold rings.
Woot woot.
So Sonic has 10 rings.
You're not supposed to eat that. There's no food. There's no food.
Write down what Sonic found on his vital statistics and turn to section 264. After walking down corridors and passing through several heavy doors, Sonic, Tails, and their 2 guards enter a large room, filled with flashing, humming, beeping machines. It smells of new paint, hot metal, rotten eggs, and the odor of ozone you get when electric wires aren't connected properly. In the middle of all this, standing on a pedestal and surrounded by controls, screens, and keyboard, is the familiar fat figure of Dr. Ivo Robotnik. He's just as bald as ever, and his bright orange mustache still looks like he has a squirrel up his nose. But now he's wearing a sash that reads President of Mobius. Sonic and Tails! Ha ha ha! He laughs, and the tips of his mustache wiggle. Welcome to the new planet Mobius, or Planet Robotnik as it will soon be known. The mad scientist's mad laughter continues for minutes. Just as Sonic and Tails are getting bored and looking for escape routes, Robotnik stops and looks at them with a serious expression. Of course, he says, you have worked out my dastardly plans, or you'd never have escaped my mind-controlled devices. He pauses for a moment and looks at them again. You have worked out my plans, haven't you? He asks. Do Sonic and Tails nod or shake their heads?
Okay.
Wait.
Bald Sonic and Tails. That's an interesting one. I gotta say.
No, Eggman's the bald one.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, he's saying you must have worked out my plans, or else you wouldn't have escaped the mind control. We never figured out what his plan was.
Well, apparently we did. We just have amnesia.
Well, no, it asks, like, do we nod or shake our heads?
Just shake your... Nod your head yes.
Nod your head, yes?
Just whatever. When you're dealing with a crazy person, you have to be agreeable.
Okay. Turn to page 197. I mean, section 197, whatever. You don't know. We know your stupid plans, lies Sonic. We can beat all of them. As I thought, sneers Robotnik. You're too dangerous to stay in the Green Hill Zone. You'd escape and smash all my beautiful new buildings. I have to get rid of you. Guards! Remove their shoes and gloves! No, not those! Gasps Sonic and Tails in unison. Ha ha! Yes! Take them off! Sally Acorn and Porker Harris move menacingly towards our heroes. Should Sonic and Tails defend themselves or let themselves be stripped? We're gonna defend ourselves.
Yeah, a little bit. Just a smidge.
$129. Roll on Sonic's and Tails' combined speed to beat a 13. That means you must add Sonic's speed and Tails' speed, then roll one die and add that as well. If the total is 13 or more, turn to 271. If the total is 12 or less, 71. Okay, so Sonic's speed is 5, Tails' speed is 3. So we need to roll a 5 or 6.
Okay. Get to rolling, Sparky.
3. Fuck. Well, we failed that.
Well, at least we didn't go down.
We rolled a 3, so that's 11. Turn to 71.
Yeah, at least we didn't go down without a fight.
How easily you hard-boiled heroes submit to the face of true power, says Robotnik. Just step onto the white cross on the floor, under the sinister device hanging from the ceiling, my new fast automatic shoe removing ray, trademarked and patent pending. Honestly, would I lie to you?
Yes.
Sonic and Tails are pushed at gunpoint toward the device by their former friends. Tails looks worried.
Are your lips moving?
Doesn't look much like a shoe remover to me, he mutters to Sonic as they are forced to stand under it. It's not. I did lie to you, ha ha! Laughs Robotnik hysterically and throws a huge switch. The device on the ceiling pulses and shoots a beam of whiteness straight down at them. Everything goes blank, except for a strange sound that goes Faz. Turn to section 8. Faz, huh?
Mm-hmm. Look, fishy standing.
Zam! The white light flicks off and Sonic and Tails fall into a bush. They're outside somewhere. Around them are tall trees blocking out the sun. Flowering plants in vivid colors and shrubs bearing multicolored fruit. From high in the tree branches comes the constant warbling of birds and small creatures and the rustle in the undergrowth. Wow, breathes Tails, getting out of the bushy landing and looking around. Where are we, Sonic? Sonic the Hedgehog carefully climbs out of his bush, and as it's a thorn bush, and sniffs the air. It's the jungle zone, he says. I haven't been here before, Tails observes. I have, Tails, Sonic nods. You've got to be careful here. It's a dog-eat-dog world in the jungle zone. Not a cat-eat-dog world? Tails asks. What are you talking about? Sonic replies. Well, says Tails, foxes are related to dogs, and there's a big cat over there that probably wants to eat me. Bogus, comments Sonic. Coming towards them is the huge face of a ravenous, deranged, dagger-fanged war cat. It opens its mouth wide, showing more teeth than most dentists see in their whole lives, and lets out a roar that shakes the trees. Do Sonic and Tails attack the war cat or run away from it? I'm gonna say run.
Yeah.
Should probably run. 99. Sonic and Tails turn and dash away through the undergrowth, running through the long jungle grass, leaping over fallen trees and sending small animals scurrying away. The war cat crashes through the jungle behind them, splintering branches as it tears through the trees that Sonic and Tails have jumped around.
Boys, enough.
Suddenly, the two heroes find themselves on a path that twists and turns around the trees. They speed up, slowly moving away from the pursuing war cat, until they abruptly turn a bend and come face to face with a group of 6 strange figures. They are dressed in leaves, carry spears, and wear decorated masks that cover their faces. 2 of them shake their spears at Sonic and Tails, while the others talk in a strange language, probably wondering who these strangers are. Should Sonic and Tails approach the native warriors, take their chances with the war cat, or run off into the jungle away from everyone?
You choose this time. Oh, did you want the thing or not?
Well, the cover shows the cover shows them having spears thrown at them, so I'm guessing it's probably not going to go well if we try to talk to them.
Well, nothing's gonna go well. Whoa.
Screw it. Screw it. We'll run off into the jungle. We're just going to keep running. Keep running. Sonic and Tails sprint away, heading deep into the jungle. Where are we going? Tails pants. Away, replies Sonic, his words left behind as he hurtles through the forest. Can't you hear? That war cat is right behind us. Tails can hear it. He can feel its hot breath on the back of his neck. It must be so close it could almost bite him. Then he sees something ahead. Roll on Sonic's and Tails' combined quick wits to beat a 10. If they succeed, turn to 118. If they fail, turn to 174.
Get your butt off that.
Okay, so Tails has 5 wits, Sonic has 2, so we only need to roll a 3 or better.
Okay.
3. That's the 10 exactly. We get to turn to 118.
Woo.
Jump! Shouts Tails, and Sonic does. There's a crash behind as the war cat, who doesn't speak English and didn't jump, falls through a thin layer of branches and leaves into a deep pit. It roars in frustration, but it can't get out. A group of 6 creatures appear from behind some trees. They're all dressed in simple clothes made of leaves. Each one wears a carved wooden mask, and most of them carry spears. They're very pleased to see the war cat trapped in the pit, but they keep away from Sonic and Tails, as if they're afraid of them. 2 of the braver ones advance, jabbing with spears. Do Sonic and Tails attack, or show these people they mean no harm? Let's show that we mean no harm. We don't need Sonic to do an imperialism. 298. Sonic turns away from the action for a moment and looks out of the page towards you. Do you mind explaining how I'm supposed to act friendly towards these guys? He asks. Who are you talking to? Tails asks. The reader, answers Sonic. It's a hero thing, you wouldn't understand yet. He turns back to the natives, smiles at them, and holds out his open paws to show he's not carrying any weapons. One of the natives pushes the two spear carriers out of the way and comes towards Sonic, holding out a single paw. Sonic takes it and shakes it. The leader turns back to the others. See, I told you it was Sonic, he says, but you wouldn't believe me. Hopeless you are, hopeless! He turns back to Sonic and pulls off the wooden mask he's wearing. Underneath is a face almost as hideous as the mask was, very much like a scruffy pig. He's got big, knobbly warts and lumps all over his long, hairy face. He is very, very ugly indeed. You're, says the Hedgehog. We're warthogs, says the leader. And you are the great Sonic the Pussycat and Hedgehog! Hedgehog the Pussycat and Sonic the Hedgehog! How do you know about me and Tails? Ah, the leader says, tapping his long, hairy nose. We may be primitive dwellers in this tropical rainforest, but we know you to be the greatest megastars on Mobius. Can we invite you to our village for some food?
Yes, please.
Sonic and Tails follow the warthogs back to their village. They gather in the largest hut, and food is indeed served. Grass, tree bark, and a few shriveled roots. Everyone tucks in, although nobody seems to enjoy it much. Sonic feels that they're waiting for him to ask a question. What does he say? We can ask, has there been any sign of Dr. Robotnik around here? Why is your tribe so warlike? Or why is the food so terrible?
Ask why they're warlike. I don't think it would be smart to say, why is your food such shit?
Well, no, they don't like it either.
Oh, well then ask about the food.
Ask about the food?
If they don't like it either, there must be a reason
Yeah.
that they're stuck with it.
Yeah.
So maybe there's something we can fix.
Yeah. Maybe we can be heroes. We apologize, the leader says sadly. Since the crocodiles found their glowing rock, they have taken all the fruits, nuts, berries, and keep for themselves. Crocodiles? Asked Sonic. Yes, a week ago they raided our village. They stand on 2 feet and spoke of a glowing rock they had found which had given them ideas of taking over the zone. Will you help us fight back and get rid of the glowing rock? Sonic and Tails can agree to help them, or refuse, or ask why the warthogs are so warlike, or whether they've heard of Robotnik.
Oh, let's just help them.
Okay, section 160. Wonderful, the leader exclaims. There is no time to waste. We are planning to attack the crocodile stronghold tonight. Do you want to wait until then, or come on a scouting expedition to spy out the stronghold?
Might as well scout.
All right then. Section 73. Sonic and Tails are given leafy clothes for camouflage and 5 gold rings each, then set off with the scouting party. They travel through thick jungle until the leader motions to the group to stop. We are near the stronghold, he says. Sonic and Tails, you look first. Don't get too close. There are guards around. The two creep to the edge of the clearing and peer out. In front of them is a stronghold with walls made of sharpened tree trunks stood on the end. There is a large gate, firmly closed. Sonic and Tails can climb the tree for a better look. They can watch for a while. They can get close to the gate. Or they can rush to the wall and tunnel under it. Well, first we got to give them those rings.
Yeah.
Okay. So, climb a tree for a better look. Watch for a while. Get close to the gate. Or rush to the wall and tunnel under it.
Let's watch for a minute.
Okay.
Well, you know, you gotta scope shit out. You wanna just dive in head first.
18.
Granted, that's what I usually do, but I'm trying to be good here.
The two heroes wait at the edge of the clearing. After a few minutes, 2 crocodiles appear from the jungle, walking upright on their hind feet and carrying wooden crossbows. When are we going to stomp out that warthog village? One of the crocs says. Soon, replies the other. Tomorrow, maybe. They walk towards the gate, and one looks around warily, while the other one unlocks it. Sonic and Tails must roll on their good looks to beat a 9. This time it's different from usual, though, because they're trying to get a 9 or less. If they roll 9 or less, the crocodiles don't spot them. If they roll 10 or more, they've been spotted, and the crocs rush toward them. We gave them 2 for their looks, so we need to roll a 5 or less.
Okey day.
3.
That's a 5 or less.
We've gotten a lot of 3s today. So that's 7, which is good. So we go to section 52. The rest of the warriors will join us soon, says the Warthog leader. Shortly, Sonic hears creatures approaching through the twilight, and more Warthogs appear. The leader turns to Sonic. You've seen things here, he says. How should we attack? What does Sonic suggest? Climb the trees and swing across the vines? Climb the walls? Batter down the gate? Or does Sonic try to think of something better to do?
There's something worse? Fudge. I'm not sure. Tis a puzzlement.
I'm going to say... Okay, here's the way I'm looking at this. If there's not a better plan, why would it give us the option to think of a better plan?
To confuse the fuck out of us? To be mean? Terrible, horrible, no good, very bad, icky people? You know? Just a thought.
I'm just saying.
I get it.
Like, given our experience with the week before, we rarely get a chance in books like this to think shit through.
This is true.
So why would it give us the opportunity to think of a better plan if there isn't a better plan to think of?
Like I said, to mess with us.
All right, I'm going to say think of something better to do.
Okay.
272. Sonic looks out of the page at you, crosses his arms and sighs. Look, Sunshine, I've told you before, I'm not the sort of hero who does a lot of standing around and thinking. That's why you're here. You do the brain work and I risk life and limb trying it all out. Didn't I tell you that before? Oh, I didn't? He looks confused for a moment. Sorry, that's in another game book. Stop talking to the reader and get on with it, chorus the Warthogs. Turn to 31. Okay, that was funny. That was funny.
Fourth wall breaks are always fun.
Okay, number 31. Sonic can charge at the gate, climb the walls, climb a tree beside the clearing, or see if he can think of anything better, which is what we just did. So, charge at the gate, climb the walls, or climb a tree.
You climb a tree.
I meant climb.
I like crime better.
Charge the wall, climb the wall, charge the gate, climb the wall, or climb a tree. What do you want to do?
Charge!
Charge! 249. Charge! Shouts Sonic. He rushes towards the gate, followed by the rest of the attackers. They hit the wooden gate with a tremendous thud, and it splinters and falls inwards. Unfortunately, on the other side is a moat, and the mighty invading force is moving too fast to stop. With a colossal splash, they fall into the muddy water. Sonic bobs to the surface and looks around. There's another wall on the other side of the moat, with a raised drawbridge set in it. On top of the inner wall are crocodile guards armed with crossbows, firing rotten fruit at the spluttering warthogs. Sonic can swim to the inner wall and climb over it. He can swim to the drawbridge and lower it. Or he can swim back to the outer wall, climb out, and try to find a better way into the stronghold.
I don't know.
Drawbridge ain't gonna do much. They're still in the water.
Uh-huh.
I guess. Okay. I'm not sure about the swimming option because Sonic is famous for the fact he can't swim. But we also can't abandon these guys.
There is that.
Find a better way. Let's try find a better way into the stronghold. 31. Oh, that just leads us back to the previous fork in the road. Climb the wall or climb a tree.
Climb a tree. I don't know. They're animals. They should be able to climb a tree.
Sonic jumps to a nearby tree and climbs up into the branches. From here, he can see the inner wall of the stronghold and the moat between the two. Several vines hang here, and he grabs one before looking down at everyone on the ground below. If this works, he shouts, follow me. If it doesn't, attack the gate. Giving a huge yell, he jumps off the tree, and the vine swings him over to over the outer wall, the moat, and the inner wall. With Hedgehog-like grace,
None.
he leaps from the creeper and lands in the middle of the stronghold. Behind him, Warthog warriors start swinging across after him. There are two wooden buildings in the stronghold. One is large and well guarded with a strange glow coming from its lower windows. The other looks like a stockade where prisoners are kept. Crocodile guards are rushing between the two and climbing the walls to fend off attackers. If Sonic saw the crocodiles taking any prisoners and he wants to free them, otherwise he can attack the large building or rush to the gate that lower to the drawbridge.
Is there a question there somewhere?
Basically, do you want to free any prisoners Sonic may have seen? Do you want to attack the large building, or do you want to rush to the gate and lower the drawbridge?
Oh. I don't know. What do you want to do? What do you think would be the smarter move?
Okay, so here's how I'm seeing this.
Okay.
They said they have a glowing rock that gave them this power.
Mm-hmm.
That has to be a Chaos Emerald. But if whoever is in there has a fucking Chaos Emerald, we're gonna want more guys. So I'm gonna say free the prisoners.
Okay.
Sonic approaches the stockade, two warthogs beside him. There are two crocodile guards there. They aim crossbows at the advancing trio. Sonic and his companions must fight the guards. Sonic uses his speed here, adding 1 point to his roll for each of the warthogs. The crocodiles each have a rating of 9, and Sonic must fight them one at a time. If a crocodile hits Sonic, roll a die. On a 1, 2, or 3, Sonic has been hit and loses his rings. If he has no rings, he must lose a life and turn back to 31. On a 4, 5, or 6, one of the warthogs has been hit and retires from the fight. Only add a point for each surviving warthog. If Sonic and the warthogs win, 131. Okay. So we need to get at least a 9. Fortunately, we gave Sonic 5 speed. Wait, Sonic uses speed here, adding 1 point to his roll for each of the warthogs. So 6. So 6 plus our score.
Okay.
Plus our dice roll. Seven. Okay, so someone's getting hit. 2. And Sonic has no rings anymore. So Sonic has no rings. 5. Okay, that's one crocodile dealt with. And 4 plus 5 plus 6. Both crocodiles are dead.
Okay.
We win 131.
Okay.
Sonic and the Warthog smash down the stockade gates. Inside, tied up, are 3 more Warthogs and Tails. Sonic pulls the ropes off him. Are you okay, Tails? He says worriedly. Tails smiles. Sonic, he says. Boy, am I glad to see you. The two friends rush out of the stockade and over to the main fort. Turn to 214. The fort has battlements on top of it, from which crocodiles are raining rotten fruit down onto the warthogs below. There is a solid door in the front of the building, and most of the guards are concentrating their fire there, keeping the invaders away from it. There is a strange greenish glow coming from the windows around the bottom of the building, and it gives Sonic a peculiar prickling feeling all the way down his back. Should Sonic and Tails throw something at the crocodiles to distract their attention, look for another way in, or charge the main door with spin attacks?
Attack.
All right. Attack when I shout 3, Sonic says. 3! Spinning blue and orange balls hurtle towards the door of the fort, and it explodes into sawdust. Sonic and Tails unwrap themselves and stand in the hallway of the building. There's a staircase leading up and down, and under it is a heap of strange objects, with 2 power-up monitors on top. Tails grabs them. Look, he shouts, this one's got 10 rings in it. And the other's got, oh wow, a blue power shield, the kind that protects the wearer from one injury. Cool. Which one do you want, Sonic? Choose who of the 2 gets the shield and who gets the rings, and write the items down in their vital statistics. I feel better already, says Sonic. Where to now? Choose whether they go up or down. Okay, so Tails has 5 rings, Sonic has 0. I'd say give Tails the shield and give Sonic the rings.
Okay.
Well, that way Tails gets 2 hits.
Okay.
Because if we give Tails the ring, if we give Tails the rings and Sonic the shield, Tails still only has 1 hit.
Okay.
That's 10 rings for Sonic and a shield for Tails. So should we go up the stairs or down? It said the glow was coming from the lower windows. So I'm thinking down.
That makes sense.
So 296. The stairs lead to an underground space glowing with an unearthly light. There are hooks all over the walls with crossbows hung on them, although there is no sign of any ammunition. At the far side of the room are 3 things which grab the hero's attention. There's a large machine that looks just like the teleporter that sent them here. There's a large Chaos Emerald, and there's a very large crocodile holding the Chaos Emerald. If crocodiles choose their chief by which of them has the most teeth and the meanest expression, this guy won by a distance. Tails nudges Sonic. I say we go for the teleport, he says. No way, exclaims Sonic. We've got to get the emerald back. It must be leaking chaos which has made these crocodiles so warlike. Remember what the Warthog leader told us? Tails nods. So what do we do now, he asks. Good question. If you think that the 2 heroes should attack the crocodile immediately, go to 1 at 53. If you think they should stay out of his range and insult him, go to 56. If you think they should try being friendly to him, turn to 4.
What's wrong with being friendly?
Huh?
What's wrong with being friendly?
I don't, given that we're dealing with a guy who's got pure chaos energy flowing through him,
That's why I'm saying we'd be nice to him, because, do you want that to kill you? Because I don't want that to kill me.
man, I was gonna say we just.
What?
I was gonna say we stay out of his range.
Okay, fine, we can see
Stay out of his range and insult him.
See, I think the insulting part is gonna come back and bite us in the
Okay,
ass
we'll
because
try
he
being
told
friendly.
us.
We'll try being friendly.
I'm just saying.
We'll try being friendly.
Hey, big dude that can kill us, bite me. No, that never works. Ever.
We don't want to hurt you, says Sonic, crossing his fingers, but you and your tribe have been acting real mean. It's got to stop. Yes, says Tails. We can't let you rush around attacking the other inhabitants of the jungle. It's not neighborly and it's not nice. So, says Sonic, the coolest thing would be for you to stop. If you agree and give us that Chaos Emerald, we'll go away and won't bother you anymore. But, says the chieftain in a voice like gravel, but the rock says that I could rule the jungle. It says I'm supposed to. Who should I believe? He's very confused by all this. Should Sonic and Tails attack him while he's confused? Or stop being friendly and start being nasty?
Oh, fuck it.
Attack or still talk?
Let's still talk.
Okay, 56.
When being nice doesn't work, we can come back later and we'll
A scaly face, Sonic shouts. We thought war dogs were ugly, but you take the biscuit and the grossness steaks. Yeah, Tails adds.
That's not
You
being
need
nice.
something to give you smoother skin, like sandpaper.
Oh my god.
Or a mask, Sonic taunts. The only way babes would want to be close to skin like yours is if you made it into a bag. Ah! Replies the chieftain. Roll on Sonic and Tails' combined coolness scores to beat a difficulty of 8 to see how angry they have made the chieftain. If they succeed, they turn to 112. If they fail, they can attack him or be polite and friendly to him instead. We already tried being polite and friendly.
Nice ended at midnight.
So, let's see. We gave them 2 for cool. We combined that into 4. So we need to roll a 4 or better.
Alrighty then.
2. Fuck. So, looks like we're going to number 153.
350?
150. 150 tree.
153?
The 2 rush forward, but before they are close enough to hit the chieftain, bolts of fierce green light burst from the emerald. Sonic and Tails must each roll on their quick wits to beat an 8 to dodge the beams of light. If either of them fail, the beams hit them and they lose their gold rings. If they have no rings, they do not lose a life. The beams fade away, leaving spots flashing before their eyes. If they want to stay out of range and insult the chieftain, turn to page 56. If they want to be nice to him, turn to 4. We already tried being nice to him. It didn't work. Six. Okay, so Sonic makes it through unscathed. Tails.
Okay.
Or the quick wits. Yeah, Sonic has 2. Tails has 5 wits, so we only need like a 3.
Are you
6.
saying we're only dealing with a half-wit?
No. We gave Tails the better. We gave Tails the better smart. Remember?
Oh, we're the half-wit. Okay.
Yeah.
Fine.
Well, we had to roll and like add it to their wit to make
Right.
at least 8. Sonic had 2 because we gave his top 3 stats to speed, agility, and strength.
Okay.
Whereas for Tails, we made wit his number 1, so he has an advantage.
Gotcha.
The only thing we haven't tried is staying out of range and insulting him. That's all we have left. Oh no, that's the hey scaly face. We just did that. So we're stuck in a circle. So I guess we gotta use their combined coolness to roll an 8.
I guess so.
So that's 4. We need to roll a 4, 5, or 6. 6. Turn to 112. It's difficult for a crocodile to go red in the face, but this one manages it. He looks around for a weapon, but there's nothing nearby, and Sonic and Tails are keeping out of range. Wild with rage, he hurls the Chaos Emerald at them. Sonic catches it. Thank you, he shouts as he dives for the teleporter. As he reaches it, he is surrounded by the familiar white light. Tails jumps into the beam a moment later. Fuzz. 229. Zam! Sonic appears above the largest white bed he's ever seen. Actually, it's a cloud, and he soon realizes when he falls through it. Whoa! He screams as he plummets downwards. Far below him is the ground, but it's getting closer. It's getting closer very fast. He's falling towards a large city with tall buildings and high walls. Outside the city, everything is a deserted desert. Nothing stirs out there. Sonic can shout for Tails, turn to 279, roll into a ball to soften the impact of landing, 184, or he can quickly make a parachute out of the leafy clothes the warthogs gave him. I'm going to say shout for Tails.
Okay.
There is no answer. Sonic looks all around him, but there's no sign of Tails at all. The ground hurtles up too fast. Ah! He screams, and just has time to roll himself into a ball. 184. Sonic hits the ground so fast that he loses all his rings, but he doesn't lose a life if he has none, and bounces back up into the air. Ah! He screams as the city rushes up at him again. Okay, so Sonic is back to 0 rings. Turn to 16. With his speed slowed, Sonic can change the direction he's falling. Below him... Below him, you can see what looks like a pool of water on top of a building. Just the thing for a safe land. Am I on the wrong one? No, I guess this is it. Just the thing for a safe lane. He twists in the air and falls towards it. Ah! He screams as he realizes that it's not a pool of water, but a huge sheet of glass. Desperately, he tries to steer away from it, but he's too close. There's a colossal crash as he hits the glass, and it shatters into billions of pieces, which fall with him into the room below. There's a party going on in the room, or there was until Sonic dropped in. Nobody was hurt, but all the guests are covered in broken glass, and the food is filled with shards and splinters. Sonic pulls himself out of a huge sponge cake and looks up. There's no noise apart from the tinkling of the final few fragments of glass. Everybody in the room is looking at him, and they all seem to be large cats. What should he do? Be cool about it? Offer the Chaos Emerald as a gift? Or attack the most important looking person there?
Try to get along, but don't give up the damn prize before we...
110. Yeah, 110. Sonic sits up in the sticky cake and wonders how he can bluff his way out of this equally sticky situation. Roll on his coolness to beat a 7. If he succeeds, turn to 171. If he fails, turn to 36. Okay, Sonic has 2 cool. Sonic has 2 coolness points, so let's see if we can roll a 5 or a 6. 3. Okay, looks like we're turning to 36 instead. Hi, Sonic says, standing up in the remains of the cake. I'm Sonic, and I've just dropped in. Ah! His arms are grabbed by two large cat guards who haul him out of the cake. The Chaos Emerald falls to the floor, and one of them picks it up and passes it to the most impressively dressed cat person in the room. The impressive cat looks at the Chaos Emerald, and then at Sonic. Sonic, he says. Sonic the Turtle. Hedgehog! Shut up. We have heard of you, Sonic the Turtle, and we know why you are here, but we don't know why you are here, but we will find out. He raises his voice. Start the trial! 69. The cats rearrange the tables and chairs to make a semicircle. In the middle sits the impressive cat, holding the Chaos Emerald, which sparkles and flashes with subdued energy, and Sonic held by the two cat guards. The cat strides over to Sonic. I am Galen, High Judge and Commander of Scrapbrain City. You have broken into our banquet, probably on a mission of destruction, without an invitation and improperly dressed. You, Sonic the whatever you are accused of being an outcast spy. We know they have spies in our city because our agents have infiltrated them and tell me their every move. Do you plead innocent or guilty? He stares at Sonic. Well?
Yeah. Innocent.
Number 7. I'm innocent. I've only just arrived and I've never heard of the outcast, replies Sonic. A likely story, Galen says. I submit before the court 2 crucial pieces of evidence. 1, he holds out the Chaos Emerald. This Chaos Emerald, remarkably similar to the one which powers our own city. This one may be a fake or it may be genuine. But one thing is certain, it should not be in the possessions of this spy. All the cats applaud. Now, the second piece of evidence, continues Galen. I ask you to cast your eyes over this invading reprobate. What do you see, fellow citizens? There is a certain cat-like appearance to him, but he is blue. As we all know, only mutants are blue, and all mutants are outcasts here. Guilty as charged. Guards, take him away. Oh dear, turn to 259. The cats applaud as the guards drag Sonic from the courtroom down a long corridor to a small cell. They hurl him in and slam the door. The cell is bleak. There is a small window with bars on it, a small bed which looks very hard, and the door which is made of steel. Previous prisoners have scratched messages into the stone wall. The outcast will win. Watch out for Galen, he's tricky. I wish I had a get-out-of-jail-free card. At the top of the wall is a large sign that reads, Defacing the wall is punishable by death. Someone has crossed out defacing the wall and written anything Galen doesn't like underneath it. What should Sonic examine? The window, the bed, or the door?
You pick this time.
I'm gonna say the window.
Okay.
Because it's Sonic. He should be able to parkour his way up to the window and get out.
That is very true.
202. The window has bars across it so narrow that not even tails could squeeze through. Sonic can see most of the tall buildings in the city. Power cables thread between them. One tower stands on its own in the middle, higher than the others, and most of the power cables lead towards it. Beyond the towers are the city walls. Sonic can see gates leading into the desert, and there are cat guards around them. It looks very hard to get into the city or out of it. Sonic turns away from the window. Does he examine the door or the bed? Well, so much for my idea.
What was your idea?
Leave through the window.
Ah. Oh, shit.
So, the door or the bed?
Can we go through a door like a normal person for a change?
Okay. Number 29. The door is solid metal, with a sliding door set in the middle of it. Sonic bangs heavily on it, and it slides open to reveal the ugly face of a cat guard. I don't care what you want, he snarls. You're not getting it. Shut up and let me have some peace. The small door slams shut. Does Sonic look out the window or check out the bed? Okay, I guess we're checking out the fucking bedtime.
I guess so.
83. The bed is as uncomfortable as it looks, with only one blanket on it. Suddenly, Sonic realizes that the only place to hide anything in his cell would be under the bed. He kneels on the floor and feels around, and yes, there's something hidden under there. He pulls out 3 gold rings. Write them down. I shall. 3. Then realizes that part of the floor is wobbly, so perhaps something could be hidden under it. Sonic slides under the bed, lifts the loose flagstone, and moves forward to see what is there. Whoa! He's rolling out of control down a stone chute that twists, turns, and bumps until he's dizzy and bruised. Suddenly, he rockets out of the end of the chute into a small room and into a group of animals who spring back and draw wicked-looking swords, ready to attack. 123. Meanwhile, over on the other side of Mobius, Tails is buried up to his waist in a snowdrift. Unfortunately, he is upside down, so his head is in the snow and his feet are waving in the air. A moment ago, he materialized a meter above the snowdrift, and you can work out the rest yourself.
Skis like I do.
Sonic! He shouts, his voice muffled by the snow. Sonic, where are you? He listens for any reply. There's no trace of Sonic's voice. Not surprising since he's in Scrapbrain City, but Tails can hear shouts and the sound of a fight. If you think Tails should burrow into the snow so the fighters can't see him, turn to 240. If you think he should investigate what's happening, turn to 283. If you think he should join the fight, turn to 89.
Oh, she should definitely join the fight.
He.
I always do that, don't I?
Yeah.
They should join the fight.
Tails is trans now.
You don't have to be trans to be they.
Shut up. Who said that? Tails asks, looking around nervously. He pulls himself out of the snowdrift, brushes the snow off his fur, and rushes towards the fighting. He can see a group of figures, possibly monkeys, but he's not sure, standing on the edge of the ice and jabbing with spears at something large and gray in the water beyond. They look very aggressive. Should he attack the figures, attack the thing in the water, or go and look around for a teleporter device?
Yes.
Very funny.
I thought so. Let's have some fun.
If we help them, they might help us.
I know, that's why I said let's have some
Attack
fun.
the thing in the water?
Uh-huh.
All right. 168.
Banzai! Wait. I don't think that's what you're supposed to say.
A huge metal shark rears up, smashing through the ice. The monkeys back away, jabbing at it with their spears, but they're hardly even scratching it. Tails takes a run up and leaps into the attack. He will use his speed to fight the shark. It has a rating of 12, but Tails adds 1 point to his roll for each monkey, and there are 4 of them. If the shark hits him, roll the die again. On a 1, 2, or 3, Tails loses all his rings, or if he has no ring left, loses a life. Draws it off and turn back to 123. On a 4, 5, or 6, one of the monkeys is hit and knocked out of the fight. Don't add a point for the beaten monkey.
I am not beating up a monkey.
Beaten monkeys don't give you points.
I'm not beating up a monkey. It's not happening.
Okay, so there's 4 monkeys.
Throw some
Tails
bananas
has
in.
3 speed, so that's 7. So we need to roll a 5.
Okay.
1.
Shit.
Now we roll to see who gets hit.
Gonna be me.
Yeah, Tails loses. Actually, no, Tails just had the shield, so we don't lose any rings. We can just cross off the shield.
Okay.
Come on, give me a 5. Yay, 5.
Here comes you.
The shark is beaten, turn to 42. The monkeys crowd around Tails and thank him. You were excellent, they say. You're as good as people say. We wish we could see Sonic in action too. Well, this is sort of a solo mission, says Tails. You haven't seen Sonic then? No, says one of the monkeys. We haven't seen much since we woke up this morning. Only the snow and ice everywhere. It's very confusing. What does Tails ask the monkey? Where are we? Who are you? Or have you seen a Chaos Emerald?
Where are we?
158. The monkeys look up at him. This, believe it or not, says one of them, gesturing at the surrounding snow and ice, is the hilltop zone. Snow started falling late last night. When we woke up today, it was like this. We split up to find food, shelter, and other survivors, but now we can't even find the others. Then that shark thing attacked. Will you help us, Mr. Tails? Interrupts the smallest monkey. We're very cold and hungry, and we're fans of you and Sonic especially. Will Tails agree to help them, refuse, or ask if they've seen a Chaos Emerald?
Of course he's gonna help. The little guy asked for help.
And Tails. Of course Tails helps. Of course he'll help, agrees Tails. Any hero would. He sets off towards a mountain peak that looms in the distance, with a mighty glacier making a frozen path to its summit. Tails points to it. That's the easiest way up, he says. From the mountaintop, we'll get the best view to look for your friends. They set off through the drifting snow and the wind. Meanwhile, back in the warmer climate of Scrapbrain City, Sonic is hot and bothered. He's surrounded by sharp sword points with 3 very angry animals holding them. One is a large badger, the second is a tall bird wearing glasses, and the third is a young dog, almost a puppy, with pointed ears. Sonic notices a pile of papers on the table titled Secret Outcast Plans, and he realizes that he must have fallen into a meeting of outcast spies. What's worse is that he knows one of them is an agent for the cats who run the city. Who are you? Asks the badger in a low, slow voice. What does Sonic reply? I'm Sonic the Hedgehog, who are you? I'm nobody in particular, just passing through, or I'm a spy for the outcasts.
No one of the consequence. Just passing through.
Nobody, eh? Says the badger. And you just happened to drop in on our secret meeting, I'm sure. I think you've been eavesdropping for ages, listening to our plans. In fact, I think you're one of Galen's spies sent to catch us. The 3 back away. Will Sonic fight them, say that he's the famous Sonic the Hedgehog, or claim he's a spy for the outcasts?
I don't like any of those options. Truth be told.
I mean, it seems like we're already well known.
Yeah, might as well play on that. Make it work for us.
Yeah. 195. Sonic the Hedgehog, says the bird. Not the Sonic the Hedgehog, defender of the Green Hill Zone, savior of Planet Mobius. The Sonic the Hedgehog who runs around with that cute cuddly fox, asked the dog, putting away his sword. I'm a big fan of his. I mean, yours. I've never heard of you, mutters the badger. You have disrupted our meeting. Same time tomorrow, everyone. He starts tidying papers. Don't mind him, says the bird. He's always grouchy. I'm number 2, and my friend, he points to the dog, is number 3. You're number 4. I'd rather be Sonic, says Sonic. Who's number 1? You are number 4, says the bird sternly. Number 1 is the badger. We're outcast agents. The rest of the outcasts live in the desert. Galen and the cats won't let them into the city. So we've snuck in to prepare for an invasion. Sonic knows that one of the group is a spy for Galen, but he knows that if he chooses wrongly, he'll be talking to the spy. Who does he talk to? Number 1, number 2, or number 3, or does he ask them what their plans are?
Oh, man. I guess we gotta use strategery, huh?
The badger would be the most likely, because he knows all the plans, and Galen said that his spy tells him every move they make.
There is that. Okay. That.
Number 1. 38. Sonic speaks to the Badger, who is shuffling papers on the table. Someone here is a spy for Galen and the others who run this city, he says. The Badger looks at him. A spy? Don't be ridiculous. I've known number 2 and number 3 for ages, and I trust them as far as I can spit. He looks at Sonic through narrowed eyes. The more I learn about you, he says, the less I like you. Talk to number 2 or number 3 or ask the group about their plans. I really don't want to ask their plans because that's really going to make us look like a fucking spy.
Well, maybe not, since they know we're Sonic.
Yeah.
I think that's what they're trying to push us to.
Yeah, that's what it feels like too. Alright, 101. The 3 spies turn to look at him. Can we trust him? Asks number 1. Of course, he's Sonic the Hedgehog, answers number 3. Besides, what are the chances of this plan working? 0, zilch, nothing. If something always goes wrong, it can't hurt to tell him. After all, adds number 2, Galen probably knows exactly what we're planning. Okay, number 4, listen carefully. Scrapbrain City is powered by the Chaos Emerald kept high in the tower. And in the high tower. It's closely guarded, but our technical expert, that's me, thinks that if we can isolate the emerald, we can cut off the power to the city. Then we set off a flare, which is a signal to the outcasts in the desert to attack. We don't want to take over the city or kill all the cats, we just don't think it's fair they should keep all the power and luxury for themselves, while we're stuck out in the desert with nothing. How are you going to get into the high tower? Asks Sonic. I haven't worked that out yet, says number 2. With Galen's spy around, as soon as I have the plan, he'll know it, so I was leaving that until the last moment. Will you help us? Does Sonic agree to help, or does he say it's the most harebrained scheme he's ever heard?
Can't be both.
I know, right? What do we lose from helping?
We don't lose anything from helping, so of course we're going to help.
We're going to help.
We do.
149. That makes sense, says Sonic. What might happen if they've got 2 Chaos Emeralds in the high tower? If they're careful, says number 2, everything will be fine. If they're careless, the proximity effect might overload the... Where's number 1? What's that chemical smell and hissing sound? Asks Sonic. Ugh! Replies number 3, slumping to the floor. Ah! Remarks number 2. Ugh! Adds Sonic as black dots dance before his eyes and he passes out. When he comes around, he's in a cell with number 2 and number 3. What happened? Asks Sonic. We were gassed, answers number 3. Number 1 betrayed us. Now there's a guard outside the door and no way we can escape. There's always an escape route, Sonic says. Besides, we must warn the outcasts about what's going on. What did Sonic do? Search the cell, ask what the others are carrying, or bang on the door?
Search the cell first. You might find something useful.
$27. The cell is like the one Sonic was in before, with a stone floor and one window set too high to see out of. There's a bed made of planks laid on piles of bricks, covered with a single blanket. In the middle of the ceiling is a large hook. Nothing is hanging from it, it's just there. Sonic and the others check every stone and brick, but there are no secret ways out of this cell. Sonic can ask what the other 2 are carrying, or bang on the cell door. Alternatively, if he has decided how he wants to escape, he can try one of the following. Lasso the hook in the ceiling if he has a rope, make a seesaw catapult with the planks and bricks, climb up to the window, or overpower the guard outside the cell. Let's try. Well, we've been streaming for almost an hour and a half, so how about we call it there for now?
Okay. Mom's brain is fried.
Alright. We're going to call it here for now, folks. Next book stream, we're going to continue this. I'm going to write down where we are. Last section. $27. Okay. We will continue this later. See ya.